Got ourselves Lotto over the team to a rig. I like that Goblin look. It's so good looking, dude. It's so good looking. I really do hope Goblin, because they technically have really good rating ratios with that haste. But I kind of hope they give him like a better rocket ratio. You know what I mean? That leap is kind of cool. I wish it was maybe like shorter cooldown a little bit. Flax over on that team as well. We got Demoniac on the Dragon Rogue with Vermillion as well as Were as well. And Flax is going to be first up versus Divines. Oh, wait, no. Is it Divines or Jordy? Hold on a second. I don't know what's happening. They're just attacking each other. What is going on? Wait a second. Wait. Flax got attacked by 3 people there at the same time, but I think they got a confusion of like who's going first, who's going last. I'm not sure. Demonic is out there trying to control it to keep things a 1v1. It looks like Jordy. I don't know if Jordy was supposed to go first or not, but he is playing, and it's him and Flex. I think we figured out what happened. I think we figured out what went down. Might have been a bit of confusion, but Flex taking a little bit of the dot damage. Jordy's out in the middle, already bubbled. Blessing of Protection or Spell Warden still available. I think has Lay on hand still, so Flex got to be very careful. Lay comes through. And I'm almost expecting for the somebody to jump each other, but no, I think we actually proper 1v1. A little bit confused in the beginning, but you know, it's happened sometimes. You know what I mean? Honest mistake. For Flex though, I think it's actually a really good spot. Does Jordy Blessing a Spell Warden or bop it? Because if you do one or the other, I don't think you win it. Because bop, and you still get Color Wind Shadows and Death Claws that go through. The dots, diseases still do a lot of damage. Is it Divine supposed to be next? I don't know if it is actually. I think they'll still try to figure it out. Is it Divines? I think Divines is giving Reflex an opportunity to maybe heal. Because if he walks up and just death strikes off of you without like trying to kill you, maybe that gives you a bit of an honor duel. Maybe that's what's going on. I'm not 100%. The Army of the Dead's just joined in. Divines is going to be able to stun lock majority of it. Blind to follow right after. Still taking a lot of damage. Lay on hands goes through, but still the Undead Army clawing right through that health bar. We'll be looking for a bubble real soon. And Flex needs to find a way to back up out of this as soon as possible. Taking lots of dot damage. Needs those death strikes. Needs some kind of a heal. But unfortunately, Divines during that bubble able to keep clobbering him down all the way to the end. That is rough with Demoniac. Gonna be up next. Shiv immediately. Divines no longer has anything to keep himself in immunity, because it's going to be all about survivability. Lay on hands got burned through by the Holy Death Knight super quick. I'm trying to see if he can deal with Rogue, doing some damage to him. Bob comes through, so he does get a Bob to remove any dodge. The bleeds, however, from Demoniac. He didn't have a Death Mark, he didn't have a King's Bane, didn't have none of those. So you weren't able to clear those things. But at least you do get an opportunity to get himself a bit of a breather. The Rogue is still on you. Divines will need to do something here for the next unlock combo. He may have a wall here coming up soon. Made to use it immediately, because if he gets 2 glows and dots, Shield of Vengeance now. You gotta Shield of Vengeance, you gotta heal. If those dots are more than the rest of your health bar below 10%, it's gonna be an immediate execute. And he is well aware how strong that effect hits. Well aware of it. He's gonna go for a self heal there, but looks like auto attacks through the wall. Is he auto attacking through the wall? I think he is. That or just dots are doing work. And it's gonna be a road. I think he's just dead. Yeah. Just those blades. With technique, immediately catch a Demoniac before he can get himself a proper reset. Fade with a fear. Man's gonna be tricking out for Demoniac. Pan the Rachel to stop him there for a second. With a Void Torrent, does have a Cloak of Shadows. Get the shot. He still has Death Mark. He still has a lot of big go. Kingsbane, Death Mark, everything is available. He's got to set the most amount of dots. He just gotta live. He just gotta get away from Technique and live. Trying to knock him back, does land the knockback. And Technique with a bit of a fade, got himself the Aegis proccing. The bleeds are hurting him. He's got himself a bit of the flash heal. If Demonic can somehow catch himself a reset with a Subterfuge Garrote, that would be huge. Locking down Technique on his cast would be amazing, but a fade potentially could stop the Rogue's opener here. Blind, still taking a little bit of dot damage, but not that much. He's got himself a heal. Fade, Sap, I think he's got himself a clean escape, right? A full clean reset, I think. It looks like Caliph is healing up North Star. I think from earlier when he got like cleaved down for a second. It's going to be a first aid for Demoniac. Technique is aware of where he's at. Is going to go for a bit of recovery. The 2 of these classes, however, here, Sub Rogue, try to res him. Is he going to try to go for res? I think he's trying to see if he can bait the Rogue to him. The res would be an interesting play, to say the least. Picking up the eyes right here as Demoniac trying to see if he can get himself some kind of a go. Fade. Oh, landing the sap in between of those fades. is going to be a trinket. Stun right after. Shadow Crash, Void Torrent. That's a lot of damage. PI is available. Kidney Shot does connect. Kingsbane is up in case he wants to use it. Is going to go for that Kingsbane. Trying to load up technique with dots. Shiv right after. Sending the rogue back with a volley. Is going to take the dot damage, but trying to heal through it as best as possible. Faded this for just a second. Demone still has plenty of damage technically for technique, but he's not going to go in for a kick. Try to see if he can get some damage in. But those barrages, dude, the crashes. He just mortaring the guy with all this shadow damage. That's mostly insta-casty, sorta. But it looks like Vermillion is given at least a breather for technique. Not giving a full-on dual reset, but give him a chance to like catch a breather, catch a quick CC. Speaking about CC, that's gonna be a quick fear off that Panda Racial. That Panda Racial is so good, by the way. It is so good. Got a trick out of Vermillion. Is gonna go for Imprison. Has the disperse in case he needs to. Is gonna go for a quick fade. Fades the Haunt. I think he actually faded the full damage of the Hunt. Vermillion will need to get a lot of soul fragments in order to get himself any kind of recovery. But it might be in a bit of a rough spot. Stun onto the technique. Does he have the damage though? That's a big glaive. Potential lots of loads of damage here. Maybe looking for a disperse. Fear for a second. Technique with a quick heal. Does he have enough damage here to follow up? Immunity for Vermillion for a second. Sigil of Fear does connect, but the rift explodes. I don't even know if the rift explodes or it exploded because the Demon Hunter died. But it looked like something exploded really quickly early on. We're trying to go for a kick. Technique does get a juke though. I don't even know how. He's going to need to go for disperse here. Where is not going to give technique, I think, any kind of chance to reset whatsoever. So that Panda Priest is going to have to go for as much self-healing as possible. Work and grapple over very, very quickly. While he's still in combat with that tentacle though, it does give technique an opportunity to reposition himself in case War goes in for a grapple hook. He does catch him. Grappling in. Faded for a second. Stuns him right after. Human Racial out of it with a with no more trinkets, a full-on fear, full ascension. Do you have another rift? He does have another rift. Cloak of Shadows vanish for the rogue. Rift still knows where you are. So if you watch where the rift goes, it knows exactly where the rogue is. Crashing down for just a second is going to be a VE. So whatever damage you do to the rogue is going to help you heal. Able to stabilize, even though the rogue is trying to get himself the proper go opener. Where is able to get a bunch of damage in the backup out of it. Dots are in. And technique, I think, tried to go in for AoE root, but I don't know if it connected with Whir. Yet another fear. Those fears are going to be the detriment to this rogue. Blind to catch a reset. Do you have the comp points for maybe like a Kinder Shot? No, he does not. Not yet. Killing Spree. Try to go for a kick. Unfortunately, Killing Spree as well as Rift will go through it. Not landing the kick. That's going to be a lot of damage you're taking. And without Rift, it is over. That is rough, man. That is rough. I never really realized how strong Shadow Priest is. I guess rogues. It is definitely a rough one. It is going to be Lotto up next. Panda Racial on him immediately. And Technique is going to take a lot of damage. He's still standing in the Lunar Storm, which is going to keep pelting you down from above. Maybe Disperse. Yeah, there goes the Disperse. There it is. Two rogues and Demon Hunter is still alive. He's actually a pretty good priest. He's a pretty good priest, as you can see. He does well. He is very, very survivable. He has damage. And he's definitely playing to his strengths as best as possible. Fear not available for a while. Lotto may need a little bit more damage. That is a big rift though on Lotto. That is a huge rift on Lotto. It's going to be those snow or Lunar Storm, but it's not on Technique for some reason. It's instead following the pet. Technique barely in it. May need some in here. Fear as he charges in, trying to go flash heal to keep him alive. Dark Ascension and gets some a big Shadow Word Death, I'm pretty sure. Is that 4? That's 4 for Technique. My guy, that was amazing. Willing to buy 50% outlaw damage. By the way, Vermilius, my mans, do you know that Outlaw Rogue is actually not working correctly? I need to show you something.